Hello, welcome to Charter Local Edition Northwest. I'm Dana Cowley, and our guest today is Josephine County Commissioner Simon Hare.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
Now, for the people who've watched our interviews before, your family has been raising cattle in the Grants Pass area for many generations.
Sure.
And now you're moving into the hemp marijuana industry, and you're also one of the youngest county commissioners ever in the history of Oregon.
Well, I'm still one of those younger commissioners, the youngest one in Josephine County's history. But yeah, I think agriculture is diversifying. Cattle right now is a pretty good industry to be in, but so is the marijuana, and specifically I'm a principal investor in an industrial hemp company in Southern Oregon that's branching out into other regions and really trying to be a pioneer for that industry where everybody, a lot of people are getting involved in more of the cannabis from the side of medical or recreational. This is really the industrial side of the industry that's going to be fairly uncharted territory for this country. Recently. It used to be a principal commodity in agriculture, but I think there's breathing new life into the industry, and it should be really great.
And with Oregon now having marijuana become legal, following Colorado and Washington, how is that working for your county, and then what are your challenges?
Well, absolutely. I think that something that's been around for quite some time as an industry, it just was happening in the back 40 on people's properties or literally underground. And now it's coming forward and becoming a little bit of a challenge as people are developing it right next door to residences and are pretty brazen with how they're utilizing water, sometimes not legally, and just trying to have the regulations keep up with the pace of this new industry. So that's been a real challenge. The other one that I would talk about is the distribution formula for revenue off of the taxes. Most of the tax, or all of it right now, is on a retail basis, and it's distributed back to the point of sale. So if there are 240 some odd dispensaries in the state of Oregon, most of those are in the metropolitan area. Josephine County has very few, and that means we have very little revenue that comes back to that county. However, we're one of the top 2 producing counties in the state, and there's a lot of challenges that go along with that we don't have the resources in order to kind of accommodate and try to make the best of a challenging situation.
Well, that back and forth happened in your neighbor to the north in Washington State.
Right.
They originally were having almost all of the money go into the state, and then there was pushback on distribution from the local communities.
Right.
And then there was a different allocation. And so how would you like to see that play out in Oregon now that you've had the chance to learn and observe from that?
Yeah, and I think we're still learning and observing from it. I don't think it's really totally shaken out. I think we need to be very dynamic in how we administer those funds. There's just unintended consequences of this industry that I don't think anybody really anticipated or were prepared for. I know the state is looking to dissolve the 91 Implementation Task Force, but one of the fundamental things is really looking at that distribution formula. We've got significant challenges with trying to mitigate property owners and the right to do what they want to on their property, but also people who moved into residential areas, and they had no expectation that somebody was going to grow 48 marijuana plants, and at the height of the season can have, a negative smell right next to people's bedrooms. And we're just trying to refine the land use laws and figure out a way to where people can kind of live and let live and figure this whole thing out. So that's just one element of what we're trying to deal with.
And then let's just explain for the viewers who might not be fully understanding of this that marijuana is for recreational or medicinal uses, but hemp is a great product for rope, clothing, fabric, and there's a viable hemp industry that's strong for your county as well.
Absolutely. I think that's something that we need to, it's untapped as an opportunity for a market. But there are medical elements to it that are really positive as well. It's not just about rope the way it used to be. There's one thing that was pointed out to me just recently is the carbon that can be refined from industrial hemp is actually really, really great in the tech industry and could provide some of the best carbon at a very low cost. And so it's just those kinds of things that we don't even know. We're scratching the surface of this plant. And I look forward to the opportunities it's going to provide for our rural economies throughout the state. Could be really great.
All right, thank you so much. Appreciate you
Thank
being
you, Dana.
here. This is
Absolutely.
Simon Hare. I'm Dana Cowley, and you're watching Charter Local Edition Northwest.